So now the actual texture is a little bit too big if we compare it to the size of the building. Remember, the building is 4.5 Maya units, so this around 4.5 meters in real life in the as we set it in the scene. So the texture size should correspond to that. So I'm just duplicating the texture. One more time. So now I can pull it to the side and start refining the texture. I've merged all the duplicated pieces in one layer. So I'm going to hide the wireframe just so it doesn't get in the way. And now with the clone brush, selecting a bigger value and a solid brush, just taking away the sharp edges of the texture. You always need to try to make not to make some repetition of the texture too much, and hide the spots, visible spots, and the ones that pop up in the eye less visible. So I'm just going to cover the texture, just sampling different spots, trying to make the texture more random and not duplicated. I'm just going to scale the texture even more. So this looks fine. Now I'm going to bring this brick texture. All we need to do is make this middle section of the texture. The other ones are the two walls that won't be seen at all from the camera. So that's the roof and the side wall, so they won't be visible to the camera. So we don't need to make it to make texture for them. But if you decided to make probably like a movie scene, it would be wise to make them as well, to paint them. I'm just going to check the size of the scene. I know this is 4.5 Maya units big. Just checking to see how it corresponds to the bricks that I've just inserted into the texture. So again, the same thing, I'm scaling them down now just to match the size a little bit better. That seems correct size. So now I'm just going to duplicate it as I did with the plaster texture. I'm just going to erase the edges so it doesn't have that sharp boundary between the duplicated textures. And again, with the clone brush, just sampling and deleting some repeated lines. Now I'm merging the layers together. I'm just scaling down the size of the clone brush. Now starting to get rid of more of the repeated stuff. Like if you look at these holes, you can see they pop up in the eye. And so if we have several of the same holes, it really pops up in the eye and looks too duplicated and not randomized. So I'm just trying to have a little bit more variation in the texture. This seems fairly okay. So the next texture that I'm going to add is this like a little bit of a splatter or dripping dirt that's accumulated beneath something. So I'm just going to position it just right beneath the window. That's the position of the window. At the moment I'm going to tune down the opacity because it's just too dark. You can always look at reference real houses. That will give you a real nice idea how to make things, how dark is the grime, what type is it, is it rust, is it like dripping water. It's always good to look at reference when you do stuff. So I'm just going to save it as a Targa image and going to test out the current texture that we have until now. So make sure that in the plugin manager you've turned on the Maya Manta Ray renderer. So I'm going to assign you Mia Material X shader, the left middle foreground house. I'm going to call it left foreground house. First I'm going to insert file texture in the color slot, turn off the filtering, and let's select our texture that we've just created out of Photoshop. So if we open the render settings, we need to do one more important thing, and that is under indirect lighting to turn on the physical sun and sky. I've already turned it on, but I haven't touched any other settings. So just click on that, and then under quality, when you go under frame buffer tab, we need to change the gamma. We need to change it because when you turn on the physical sun and sky, it applies an extra gamma correction on top of our old textures, because our textures are they have already applied 2.2 gamma to them. So we need to, if we turn on the physical sun and sky, this will apply another 2.2 gamma on top of them. So we need to get this one number of gamma and divide it by 2.2, which will give us 0.4545, which will be rounded to 455. Another thing is to, if you go to the camera attributes and under Manta Ray and then lens shader, we have another gamma type number, which is 2.2, and this one we need to set it to 1. Now this way we don't have the gamma correction applied to all the textures twice. Another way to do the correction without modifying all of those numbers are per texture basis. So if we go to the hypershade and under the utilities shaders, you can see the gamma correction node. You can just apply it to your texture before feeding it into the material, and this way you can apply the gamma correction. So I'm just opening the render view. I'm just going to check the quality. Just going to set it to 2 so we can render faster. Let's do a test render on the scene. Just going to position the camera so we can get a better look of our diffuse texture. So let's go to the render view and render from the perspective camera.